So you are looking at the Nexdock 2. This is the touch version. They have a new one that's like foldable, like a tablet. The Lenovo Yogas. And I bought this separately. So I store it here, and then when I want to mount my phone, I do one of these jammies, and I just mount it, bang, and it just goes there. So this was released in 2020. It's about 2 years old now, and you might be wondering, what the heck is going on here? Well, here's the story. When I first got this, I was super psyched because, as you know, I love me some convergence. I wrote about it. I talk about it a lot on Linux Saloon or whenever chance I could get. And basically the idea is one code base stretched through and adapted through the hardware. So I put my phone here, plug it in, I get a whole like desktop UI, but it's basically on this system, on this phone. This is just a shell. This is just a keyboard, battery, and monitor, and some USB and HDMI stuff here. Here's the thing. For whatever reason, when this got released, it was, overall well received. But the drivers they use for the mouse pad wasn't really like a true touchpad. And I don't know if there's a limitation on like the quality of the driver or just the limitation of the OS or Android. But basically, if I was typing, any faint touch would move the mouse. So like the touch sensitivity I forget what the term it's called, to protect your hand from registering as a touch or a click, wasn't really there. And also, if you're using the mouse normally, if you kind of like are scrolling up, it will register this as a swipe on the phone, and that sometimes would do some weird things to the phone, and it will call up certain elements. So if I did this to scroll down on a page, it will actually close the page. When I do this, it will come up and give me a shortcut for something, and that was obviously not really productive at all. So that combined with me typing, and then all of a sudden my mouse cursor moving like 5 spaces back, and then I'm typing in the middle of a sentence that I already wrote, I was like, this is not really feasible. So basically, I did one last chance after using this on and off. I was very disappointed. Even the hardware, I love the hardware, it's gorgeous. The screen resolution and the quality is gorgeous. The keyboard, phenomenal. And even the touchpad feels great. It's like a humble attempt at MacBooks, like really solid. But because of the touchpad and those little issues, it just turned like experience from like what could have been like an A or B plus experience to like a C, D, even F sometimes. So like I wasn't happy with that. Lastly, there is some type of like firmware issue here where if it was charged a certain way for a certain amount of time or something, it would only register like a 1% charge, and it won't go beyond that. So I had to like break this thing open, take the ribbon out that connects to the battery pack, and then like press the power button, and then put it back in, and then now it would kind of like flush it out, the memory, whatever is causing it to like stay at 1% and not register a new charge. Then it will take the charge. So once it did that, it rejuvenated this, and I guess this is why it's like you never give up on your hardware. I was able to kind of breathe new life. And so once I got this fixed, this here, and I'm able to type without any issues. I'm able to move the mouse, no issues. It literally feels, within 5 minutes, it feels like I am using a laptop. Like I just forget that I'm using it. And that's really the goal. And that's really the essence of convergence and essence of like seamless integration of the UI. That I do work on my phone, I go here and I just pick up right where I left off. And when I'm done here, and I have to use my phone again, I'm picking right up where I left off. That's the beauty of convergence. And I manage one system. I can carry this around the house and I don't have to like have another system that I have to update, maintain, etc. So with this is aluminum foil. It has, well, actually, first I actually took tape, then aluminum foil, then another layer of tape on top, and that kind of like just blocks any. It doesn't register any touches with that. Probably going through like one layer of tape on this side here, this side, or right here, because it still sometimes happens, rarely, but for the most part, it fixes the problem with the touchpad. So I kind of like regained the laptop here, and I'm really happy. So just kind of like when you do these like Indiegogo or GoFundMe projects, whatever, you get the hardware, it's not going to be as expected. It rarely is. I don't think it's ever going to be like a perfect project, but with a little tinkering, it can actually be what you expected it to be. So I'm using this again. I'm happy, and the battery life is pretty solid on this thing. Pretty solid, and doesn't hurt that when I'm using this and I'm connecting it with a USB to use Samsung Decks, it also charges my phone, which is kind of cool too. So anyways, that's the Nexdock for you. Nexdock, crazy variant, like the crazy sun in the background. All right, catch you guys later. Just want to give you an update on that. See ya.